And good afternoon, YouTube fans. Admiral Preparedness here. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're at on this beautiful planet Earth. Today, we're going to cover something I don't think anybody really thinks about, but is how do you cook your food in an emergency situation? There are several different ways you can go about that, but this is one of the ones that I like, particularly because it's compact. It's easy to use. Doesn't take a rocket science degree to figure it out. Comes in various colors now. The inventor apparently didn't have a very good patent, seeing how there's all different variants of this single burner cartridge, fuel cartridge stove out there on the market right now. I mean, this thing weighs less than a pound, empty. You have your easy clean burner top. You can set it that way, which is not highly recommended because you want to separate your cook flame. You want to raise it up high enough. I got an example here. One of these chef's 8-inch fry pan. These guys are great. Under $20, heavy stainless steel. I keep it in the box to protect it. So just to show you that it has a nice rubberized handle, easy grip. You can hang on to it. You can use it as a weapon if you wanted to. You can knock the living daylights out of somebody if they got this in the frickin' temple. The cartridge fits inside this area here. It has a keyway. Now the keyway is important because what it does is it fits this little slot right here where the bottle can't move around. Now once you set that in there, lock it in place, it's not going anywhere. Now this one here, I have to specifically line it up. Okay, you have this lever right here, if you can see that. You rotate that lever down, that'll lock that guy in place. And what's unique about this one is you have your burner control. You also have your locking mechanism, and then you have your starter. Now, I don't know if you can tell, but right now that thing lit on the first light. There's no warm-up heating required. You have your high, then you have your off to low for simmer. This one here is liquid propane gas, 5 ounces an hour consumption. Heat efficiency is 50%, and it gives you the item number or whatever. They do have a caution information here in English. This one is sold in the United States. Worldwide, I can almost bet you can buy this anywhere. It's easy to remove. Canisters, I've seen these guys going anywhere from $1 to $5 just for a bottle. So, and they have this what's called a blowout protection. And here's a area where if this thing becomes overheated, it'll pop up and allow that gas to flow out without exploding. They call that the countersink release vent. So they thought about that a long time ago. I've seen these on television, at restaurants, grocery stores, demonstration, flea markets, yard sales. Any place you want to have a quick meal, you can make something and not create a large mess. This one here, it comes in a little instruction piece of paper, very easy to use. Again, in English. You have the carrying case, which is a plastic material. Now what I like about it is you can actually use it as a windbreak to set it up outside. As long as your cookware is small enough, you have yourself a way to block out the wind. Somebody had recommended lining this with aluminum foil, and I highly agree with that. The simple fact of the matter is it'll help retain heat. Now the portability of this little bad boy I particularly like because you could put it in your automobile. Make sure I put it in the right way. Put it in your automobile, your camper, your boat. It'll fit a backpack easily along the back. Again, it can be used as a carry item. You can't see that, I'll show you. You can just carry it along where you need to go. All right, it's very lightweight. Again, this one's called the portable gas stove only because that's the name they gave it. Coleman puts this out. There's several, like I said, the patent, all you had to do is change one item, one thing on this concept, and you're good to go. Nobody can sue you. Nobody can take you to court. I'm sure there's probably 2 manufacturers out there, and they've got the whole thing run down. Again, you have your pressure reducer valve. You've got your regulator, off-on switch, your igniter. Okay, it's burning out residual gas right there. There is some residual going to be left in the line. It did light. Alright folks, remember it's got a safety on it where it will not let you compress the bottle while this valve is open. It won't let you put that bottle in. It has to be shut. That's a real nice safety feature that most people wouldn't think about, but somebody in the invention process said, well, you know, let's say like right now I just stuck it in. I cannot shut that. It will not shut. But as soon as I close that valve, it'll let me pull it in. Prove me wrong here, boys and girls. Oh, I know why. Because this is not on. There's a click. If you can see in here, if you can see right here, this protects it from making sure it won't close. See how it's closing now? If I left this on there, it won't let me do it. Okay? It knows that it's looking for that configuration. That's a pretty nice safety. If you didn't see that again, I'll show you. There's a latch right here. Okay. Now, see, it wants to let it in. But if this guy's in the transport position, it will not let you bring that down. So this guy here is blocking that guy, so once that's off, you can go to town on it. I like that feature. The other thing is, which is nice, is it's pretty much open on the bottom. As you can see light through it. Any of your cooking overflows or whatever, but plus it allows air to come up into here and provide oxygen for the burner top. This is made of a cast type material. One screw holds it on. Your piezoelectric igniters right here. Remember folks, if you have a little trouble, that guy can be moved by simply removing that screw and rotating it to where you can see that the piece right here, this shaft, and this material here, it'll want to run across, the arcs across there, create the spark, create the flame. Again, it looks like it was put together relatively easily. It's got a matte black finish. It's not meant to be picked up and banged around, I'm sure, because it's you know, it's got what it is. It has these rubber feet on it there, rubber feet on this end. so it won't slide around pretty much. Now it doesn't have a tip over safety, so it needs to be on a level surface. That's one thing I noticed about this little guy, but that's one thing I don't think you need to worry about. You're not cooking nothing at an angle like that anyway. If you worry out of your mind. Safety wise, you can use it indoors, but please, please open a couple windows. Emergency preparedness, it's perfect for camping, day hikes. If you're out, you know, and you're trying to entertain your friends, you can buy a couple of these. I sell these, folks. If you're looking for one that I include shipping, and if you want me to sell you, I'll even throw a 4-pack in. You know, for $9.99, you get a 4-pack of these guys. You just message me on this channel. I sell them for $15 even, and there is no warranty on them. Of course, I do test them before I ship them out. You can find them on my eBay channel, and that one is My Son Will, all lowercase. My Son Will. I think that's how you find me. I've got these on sale right now. Buy it now. You can go look at that if you want. If you don't want to go the eBay way, I take PayPal. We can do a transaction over the phone, or you can just mail me check or money order. When that check clears, I ship it out to you. I've got 4 of these in stock where I can grab them right away, but I've got 20 more because I saw a value in these. The reason why I saw that value is because, you know, if you're a young couple starting out, you don't have kids yet, you're living in an apartment, and you know the world comes to a crash, and you want to know, you know, wait a second, I know how to cook. I don't need to rely on some federal agency coming and giving me what I need to get. Or you're somebody living in an apartment or a dorm situation, and you want to be able to cook your food. Of course, you better check with your landlord to make sure you're allowed to, you know, cook food. Some people get a little bit pissed off that, you know, down the hall they're smelling all this gorgeous gourmet food, and you know they got to eat at the cafeteria or the machine downstairs by the front door. I mean, I've lived off a vending machine before because I was poor. I know what it's like. You know, cookware. Don't buy the crap. Don't buy cheap stuff. Look, put your money into your cookware. Your cookware will last forever. If you need the stuff that's junk and you want to just put it away, that's fine. But be honest with you, when shit hits the fan and you start scavenging, you know, you're gonna find this stuff all over the place. People's garages, people's pantries, their dishwashers, their RVs. They're not gonna have them in their cars and trucks because unless they're, you know, traveling gourmet cooks. Um, these are barter items. This one here is a heavy-duty 8-inch fry pan for making any kind of food that you use these fairly deep pans in. One thing I like about these guys, you can put them in the oven. Like again, it makes it deep. It's got some mass to it. So, you know, if I had this on my side and we were doing a barter, and you decided to get, you know, whatever with me, you might find this being beating inside of your head, and this sharp point right here could cut your head right off in a heartbeat, or at least sever that jugular vein where you're gonna bleed out. I could hit you in the thigh, hit you in the groin. You know, you're gonna hurt. And plus, if I had 2 of these, you know, I'm that ninja warrior now. You know, don't make a mistake. I'm not one of these overweight, you know, wannabe warriors. I'm just an old military guy who's you know, getting up there in age. But you never know. I mean, your brain takes 3 seconds to realize what the heck's going on. By the time I got one of these up beside your head, and while you're sitting there thinking about what just happened, you know, I may be putting my other blade into your neck to get the heck out of there. There's always a pleasurable thing about these guys. You know, we try to keep positive. I always try to keep positive when I do these blurbs, these blogs, vlogs, whatever you want to call these things, video logs. These can be found just about anywhere. I do sell these by the 4-pack, and I do ship them by ground because they cannot go by air. Pressurized gases are is called a consumer commodity, and it has to go by ground. A lot of your Asian stores, that's where I got this one just an example. Sam's Club, if you got your local Sam's Club and you're a member, or you do the Visitors Day, you can get these by the 4-pack. They don't sell them individually there. I buy them by the case. And check with your insurance company or homeowner's policy. There may be restrictions on how many of these you can store up in one place. Now, again, the old story goes, when in doubt, just check it out, ask questions. Call your local fire department, email if you got a buddy who's a fire department member or volunteer fire department, depending on where you live. Just ask about compressed gases. You know, some places, even a garage has a lot of compressed gases, paints, thinners, cleaner material, where it's flammable material. If you have a fire and your building burns to the ground and they find several of these packed up in an area, you may lose your coverage because they're thinking that you got a warehouse store instead of a general, consumer's 2 or 3 bottles, and you've got yourself a potential problem. If you can put a outside storage shed up that's temperature controlled, or at least someplace where you can keep these under a cool temperature, that's even better. It is a gas where it can be used in different temperatures. Some will have a restriction on them somewhere about what temperature range it'll operate at. If you keep them at room temperature, that's even better. I keep mine outdoors in a protected area where they won't have a very large temperature variation throughout the year, but I check them periodically to make sure that everything's okay. I measure them by weight to make sure that they haven't lost a seal, or I measure when I buy them too, just to make sure they're not bad from where I buy them from. It's always a good habit to get into when you start buying things that you trust are sealed, but yet I've been buying some things off the web where they're material like the gel cooking material that it evaporated, and they sold these things by the truckload, and I bought about 30 of them, found out that 8 of them were no good. Of course, I went back to the person I bought them from and said, look, swap them out, and they were glad to do it. So that's a good thing. I pride myself on whatever I ship you is going to be spot on and not going to be something phony baloney. But that's what I got for you today, folks. Remember, just 2 things you got to take care of. Take care of your family and take care of your country, because without either one, you're going to be sitting out in the dark. Admiral Preparedness here. You guys have a great afternoon. Take care.